Hey guys, Pegasus Coconut here. Today I want to talk about one of my favorite shows currently airing on television, Steven Universe. It's a show with a broad age demographic. It's primarily geared towards children and families, but it's reached a very wide audience. And I think it's really great that this show with really great themes. The show has amazing themes, by the way, with the characters and the development and the messages. And I really think it's great that it's brought so many people with different backgrounds together. And I really admire what the crew of the show and Rebecca Sugar, the creator, have done with this show. I think it's an amazing show. And today I want to give my kind of raw, unscripted opinion of the recent yesterday's episode. It was probably one of the biggest episodes in the whole show. So spoiler warning to those who haven't seen the show or the episodes yet. If you do want to be unspoiled, don't watch this video. I'm going to be talking in depth on the themes of the episodes and kind of where the show I feel like is going and why these episodes were well executed in my opinion and why the show is so important to me, as well as the way that the decisions made by the crew in how they wanted the story to go, I feel, were the right ones. For anyone who hasn't seen the show, I highly recommend watching it. It's a lot of episodes, but it's not too many. It's in its 5th season right now. I would recommend watching it. You can watch it anywhere online or on the Cartoon Network website or on TV. It just kind of depends. I would watch in order. It's a definitely heavy continuity show. So what we found out in these episodes was a theory that was kind of there for a long time, although it wasn't the most popular theory, was confirmed. Rose quartz is pink diamond. Now, I like this theory. I'm glad that the show went in this direction. Before I saw this episode, I was leaning towards this being the plot twist. I really felt like this would be the right direction for the show to go in. And it's clear that the show has been building up to this moment for the entire show. You can just tell by the way that the crew has laid out the groundwork for what's going to be revealed from the beginning. I mean, they've said, Rebecca Sugar, a bunch of other people on the crew have said on Twitter that they've planned the whole thing from the beginning. I think one of them, even yesterday or today, said on Twitter that they had the plot cheat sheet of like what was going to happen in the show set from like back in 2013 or 2012. It's clear that they planned this all from the beginning, and most people didn't believe this theory. I had my own theories. I did weigh in and Reddit, because I don't usually say much on Reddit. I go there a lot to check what other people are saying because I think it's really interesting to see what other people think about the show as I'm watching it. That's really interesting to me. But I didn't weigh in too much on what I thought. I gave a couple of theories before the episode Jungle Moon had aired a few months ago, back in January. That was the episode where the theory of pink diamond being rose quartz started to gain more traction again, because it was a theory a long time ago, many years ago, before we knew the story narrative that Rose had allegedly shattered pink diamond. That story threw us all off guard, but I definitely think after Jungle Moon aired that I really thought that the theory was a lot more plausible, and then I looked back and I realized there were a lot more sort of hints foreshadowing the big plot twist. I did have other theories before Jungle Moon aired that didn't involve rose quartz being pink diamond. Like I thought Line was pink diamond for a while. I thought that there was some conspiracy between Pearl and White Diamond, and that all wasn't true. But I did weigh in that I was more on board with the theory than ever about Rose being pink diamond for a number of reasons. I'd be fine with either way, but I was definitely leaning towards this being what happened. And so when I saw the episode, I wasn't really surprised. It just feels really good to have something that you wanted to happen and thought was the right way for the show to go happen and be canon. I think a lot of people, because the majority of people, as far as the fans and the people that watch the show, I think were not on board with the theory and thought that it just wouldn't make any sense. I just have a different opinion. I always thought that this theory made sense. I didn't know exactly the specifics of it. I wasn't really sure about. It's clear now that her pink diamond was shapeshifting to disguise herself as Rose. It was as simple as that. She wasn't possessing a quartz soldier. There was nothing weird like that. No, she was just shapeshifting to disguise herself. And she turned her gem 90 degrees as she shapeshifted so that her gem wouldn't be seen as the pink diamond gem. I can understand why people that believed that this wasn't the case are frustrated about it. And that's why I wanted to kind of throw my opinion into the ring and explain why I think that this is a good direction for the show to go, and I don't feel like it's a forced thing. I feel that the show has kind of been building up to this moment, and then it just really makes sense given the show's narrative. And that's what I really want to explain. Because this show has meant a lot to me, the emotions that the characters have gone through really resonate, and the show has given me something to relate to. That's why I really want to be clear about how I understand how some people have criticisms of the show. I mean, it is a masterpiece. Of course it's going to have flaws, though. Of course it can't be perfect. The creators are human, just like they're trying to show in the show, that everyone's human, everyone has flaws. The real message that the story is trying to get across is this is the story of the redemption of Pink Diamond. And I think that becoming Steven is a big part of that redemption. Everyone thought that Rose Quartz becoming Steven was a big part of her redemption because she didn't fully understand humans and everything that was going on Earth. But her being Pink Diamond, the one who was initially colonizing the planet, putting the humans in a zoo, and just not understanding their needs, her being Pink Diamond adds more weight to that. And I think it adds more weight to her redemption as Steven. This was a good place for the show to go. And it's not like the show made this decision at the last minute. It was always planned. It's very clear that this was always in place for this to be the answer. And I know a lot of the Steven Universe theorists on YouTube. I have a lot of respect for all of them. I think they all do a really good job and provide good content. I noticed a lot of them don't have this opinion. And that's why I wanted to start a dialogue, throw my opinion into the ring, and just be honest about how I feel. I think it's good. I'm really happy. It's not like the show did it for us. The show was always going to go in this direction. Before the show even came out, before we even know who Rose Quartz was, who Pink Diamond was, it was always going to happen. It's not like the show did this to cater to this theory. The pieces were always in play. And so I think her being Pink Diamond makes sense. And the reason I think that, and the reason I thought this before A Single Pale Rose aired, and the reason I wasn't surprised too much, I mean, I love the way it was executed. I love the way visuals that were shown. I think what really made this resonate with me is that it shows the flawed nature of Rose Quartz and Pink Diamond. I always knew there'd be some kind of twist with Pink Diamond not being the evil, tyrannical, sadistic character that Garnet was making her out to be. I knew there'd be some kind of twist about Pink Diamond not being like that. And I knew there'd be some kind of twist about Rose not being perfect and flawless. Well, turns out they were the same person. I like that because it shows that Pink Diamond was a flawed character. She was a flawed person. She made a lot of mistakes initially, and to try to fix them, she made another batch of mistakes, starting the Gem War. It's clear that she wanted to have a colony. She wanted it so badly that she didn't realize the complications of that. And so she tried to backtrack. She tried to reason with the other diamonds. They weren't going to let her back out of it. So she created this fake alias, Rose Quartz, this rebel, to try to get them to leave peacefully, and it didn't work. And so she basically had to lead a double life where she was appeasing the diamonds and at the same time rebelling. And it ended in this war where countless gems and humans were destroyed, not because Pink Diamond was sending them to their death. Well, she was, but the other diamonds were involved. So the stakes were real. It's not like she had gems kill each other just for the fun of it. She didn't do a good job of protecting the gems and the humans. She screwed up. And in the end, it was her that caused that to happen because she wanted a colony so badly that she didn't realize how it would affect everyone else. The humans, the gems that were colonizing, the gems that would eventually be involved in that war and would either be shattered or eventually corrupted by the diamond attack, turned into monsters. It's just another example of how characters are human. Characters make mistakes. People make mistakes. We're all human. We all make mistakes. But sometimes when we try to correct them, they just get worse. We try to fix our mistakes, and then it's like we dig ourselves a deeper hole. And I think that's such a powerful statement and message. It really resonates with me. But I think Pink Diamond, she's just a fascinating, morally complex. I wouldn't call her a hero, and I wouldn't call her a villain. Wouldn't even call her an anti-hero. I just say she's a character who made a lot of mistakes and had a lot of love. She wanted to fix her mistakes, and she made more mistakes trying to fix them. But in the end, she's just a humanistic character. The piece people are missing is that there's a lot of dramatic irony in this situation. I mean, Blue Diamond and Yellow Diamond didn't know what Pink wanted. They didn't understand the suffering she was going through with her empathy for these life forms. And I do think Steven has a lot more empathy than his mom, and she's very flawed. She's selfish. She's just a selfish character. But that's what the show is trying to display, is that you can be selfish, but you can also care at the same time. And I think the complexity of that and the moral dilemma of that is genius. I know where the show is going now. They're going to show how she struggled and how Steven is her redemption, and how Steven is struggling because of her mistakes. And it's not his fault she made these mistakes, and now he's trying to fix them, and he's made more mistakes trying to fix them. History's repeating itself. Like, he turned himself into Homeworld, and it upset the Crystal Gems and Connie, and Steven is making the same mistakes, but in the end, he's owning up to them. He has more empathy than his mom could because of when she met Greg and had him. He's part of her redemption. He's part of her moving forward and starting a new life. Part of moving on is realizing what the mistakes were, but at the same time not letting them take over your life. And I think that's what we see with Lapis Lazuli. I think she's a very interesting character in herself. I think a lot of people misunderstand where the show is going with her. I think the show just hasn't gotten to the point yet where we can really get a full view of her character in terms of where she's progressing in the show. I think a lot of fans are quick to think that this is the whole picture we're going to get of Lapis, but I really think there's a lot more to see with her in her character. I don't think that there's wasted potential, because I think maybe they've dragged it on a little too long with her character arc, with her living at the barn and just kind of retiring her past, and she was basically in retirement mode at the barn with Peridot. She knows she wants acceptance and love and to not be alone and to have people that understand what she's going through. But she's letting her past and her depression and see, I understand this because I've struggled the same way. She's letting all the things she's been through consume her and block her from the light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. And it's sad, but I don't think we're done with seeing her character progress and blossom. I think there's going to be really good things happening with her character. I don't think we've seen the full picture. I think we've just seen a part of it. I think we've seen the beginning of her progression. I think there's been circumstances that have set the mood for her character, set up what's to happen later, but I just don't think we're even close to being done with her character. I think there's a lot more to come. And I like how they put these parts of the episodes together, because I think the theme, both with Lapis and with Rose Quartz, it's kind of about moving forward and fixing mistakes, like the gems that put Lapis in the mirror that wronged her, her conflict with Jasper, which was both her and Jasper's fault equally. They both abused each other. They were terrible to each other. It was just an abusive relationship all around. So the show's really showing how these characters are moving forward. I think that's a good thing. I think it's showing how it takes time and it's not easy, but in the end, they're going to use these experiences to blossom into better people that are going to do good things for other characters. And I like how they put these two in the same special. They're moving forward. They try to fix their mistakes and they struggle to do that, and it creates more mistakes. But in the end, there's ways that they can blossom and become better people that are going to help other people in positive ways. I just don't think we're done with Steven. He's kind of taken on the legacy of his mom, who's Pink Diamond. And I just want to reiterate how important I think these characters are, because they they have struggled so much. And I don't want to also undermine other characters like Amethyst. She had an amazing arc earlier in the series. Garnet, who's going to have an arc because she probably feels lied to about this Pink Diamond situation. Pearl obviously has been through traumatic experience, being so loyal and then being let down in the end by Rose Quartz or Pink Diamond loving another person, Steven's dad, and being so loyal and having to suffer through losing everyone because of a mistake that made the diamonds attack Earth and turn all the gems into monsters. And then there's Jasper, who's a fascinating character as well. I used to hate Jasper as a character, but even before I knew really what the story was with Pink Diamond, when she said the thing about Pink Diamond, I could tell that she wasn't being evil just to be evil. She was hurting. She was in pain, and she wanted to avenge the death of a gem that she really looked up to. And now that that gem is revealed to be Rose Quartz, I think it's really going to just make things so much more interesting. She was fighting for something that was a lie the whole time. She was fighting for the death of her diamond. And she had all this hatred towards Rose Quartz, this hatred towards Steven. It turns out she didn't even know that Rose Quartz was really Pink Diamond all along. She was hating the same person that she was fighting for to avenge. And so I think these conflicts, these inner conflicts, are going to come up as really important later on in the series. All these revelations. I think the plot twist just is really well done. I think it's going to mean a lot of good things for the show. I don't think it's a problematic plot twist, and it wasn't forced. I respect the other opinions of other, fans and YouTubers that think it was forced. I think there is validity to the fact that there are opinions about it being a problematic plot twist, because I see the other side of that. I have my opinion, of course, that I just stated, and there's, of course, a lot of foreshadowing about this, and I could go into that. I mean, there's what Blue Diamond said, Yellow says it'll all be over soon. I wonder what you would think. It is your planet after all. I still think it is. I think that's dramatic irony, because Blue Diamond doesn't know that Pink Diamond is Rose Quartz. And so for her to say that, I wonder what you would think. It's almost like the show was on purpose having her say that to build up to this moment. That's a fascinating dramatic irony, because it's like she really wants to honor what Pink Diamond would have wanted, but she doesn't know what Pink Diamond would have wanted. And it's because she didn't know the whole time what Pink Diamond really wanted, and Pink Diamond didn't speak up for herself, and she wasn't assertive with the other diamonds. She didn't tell them what she wanted. She just kind of bottled everything up and then was this alternate persona as Rose Quartz. Blue Diamond never found out what she really wanted. And so I think that was one of the biggest clues for me. Of course, there was all the stuff in Jungle Moon about Steven having the memories of Pink Diamond. That was a big giveaway, I think. The gem, being the sideways version of Rose Quartz's gem. When you see Pink Diamond's gem, of course, I think that was a clue. I think there were really a lot of clues to support this theory. But, I mean, that's what happened. It's the show. I mean, it's been building up to this for a long time. There's really no other way the show was going to go. It was always planned to be building up to this. And I love theorizing. I think there's so many possibilities the show could have gone in. I think there's possibilities and choices everywhere. That's why I love the whole, plot with Garnet's future vision. And I love the episode Pool Hopping, where Garnet's talking about all the possibilities. You have to find a way of understanding, and not just understanding, but just being mindful, and just hard to know what's going to happen. You're always going to struggle. But the next time, you try to make it better. You try to do things differently. So overall, great episodes. I just want to reiterate how much I think it's a good direction for the show to go in. And if anyone disagrees, I'm sure there are people who disagree that think it's, they don't like the way the show's going with this plot twist. I want to start a dialogue about that. I'm curious where the root of the other opinions are, because I think opinions are what makes us human. That's also what the show is trying to show. Everyone has their own opinion. Everyone has their different perspectives. And I think perspectives are fascinating. I think it's important. Embrace, understand all the perspectives, and be empathetic to those perspectives. Because Steven's very empathetic. I mean, of course he makes mistakes. Of course sometimes he puts himself before others. Of course sometimes he puts others before himself. He doesn't always make the right choice. But he's very empathetic. He cares, and you can see that. And I think I think the show is going to go in a direction where he can thrive and blossom in a way where he's still a flawed character, just like his mother was, Pink Diamond. But he's going to do a better job because he not only is he learning from his mother's mistakes, he's learning from his own mistakes. He's going to move forward, and he's going to figure out a solution that's going to help as many people and gems as possible. I have faith in this show, and this show has moved me. The show has brought a lot of joy, and it's just, the mystery is very interesting. I love what they did with this plot twist. I'm excited for more. I'm excited to see more where the show's going to go. I hope you enjoyed my raw unscripted opinion of what I thought of the plot twist in Steven Universe. I think it's one of the greatest plot twists in a cartoon I've seen in a long time. I mean, Gravity Falls had a huge plot twist, but this plot twist was just, it was kind of the underdog's plot twist. There were people that really thought it would happen, but it was a minority of people that thought that this would be the case. I'm glad it happened because of the messages that it opens the show up to producing, and I am very excited to see what happens next. Thank you all for watching, and if anyone has comments, just leave them in the comments below about what you think. So yeah, that's about it. You guys have a great day. Enjoy the rest of Steven Universe. I'm gonna be right there with you watching Steven Universe.